Okay, this is a message for someone who came into this life with the intention to go for gold. Whatever that means for you, in whatever capacity that resonates with you. It's so interesting the way this message came to me. So, I was watching my YouTube reels because I have a scrolling problem, and this clip of Simone Biles came up, and I'll plug it in the bottom, but like it was basically saying like she's doing the hardest vault in the world and still and fell and still won silver. And so this message started to come through me about like someone being I heard you are the Simone Biles of your soul group, of your lineage. So this is someone that their ancestors, their spirit guides, God is coming through in order to encourage you about maybe like not in your mind, because you're you and you are very skilled in whatever it is that you do, whether it just be in breaking certain patterns or even like you have a skill that you are really adept at. You could be potentially really hard on yourself, and when you do fall, it feels like it's not good enough. But there's this energy of like, even when you do fall, because you're still doing something so difficult, you're still making podium, you're still making metal. So it's like, you could be doing something, clearing something, conquering something, achieving something in this lifetime that no one before you has ever been able to do. And because of the level of difficulty and the level of like skill, discipline, effort, work that it's taking you, you are this like Simone Biles character of your soul group, of your lineage. So they're coming through to encourage you to remember the level of difficulty in which you're competing at, and being able to see that even when you fall, you're still making the podium. So that's significant here. I don't want to rabble on too much, but that's really what I'm getting, is that maybe you had some type of misstep or feeling like you could have done better, and I'm sure that you can, but this is about remembering, like, ultimately I've seen a lot of footage around like Simone in the Olympic Games, and there's this one clip that stuck out to me where someone was saying like she's not just a gymnast, like you should feel she's a world-renowned superstar. You should feel the energy in this place. Like, so many people have traveled far and wide just to see what it is that she does. Like, there are people who don't even understand gymnastics and like the point system and what it is that you can get penalties for and whatever, but just seeing how high she can fly and how many twists and turns that she can do and still land on her feet, it is enough to get them out of their seats, out of their houses, out of their cars in order to come see the main event. And you are that main event. This is bringing me to a different message that came through. I was recently in Miami, and I was staying at this hotel, and there was this the national team for Peru, their soccer team, was staying at the same hotel as me and my family. And these fans, y'all, like, they were camped out. They were filling up the lobby. Like, we could barely get into our hotel because so many people came to see their national team. Like, they were excited to see the players. And we came back from dinner one night, and the crowd had grown so much. Like, their whole coach, the coach bus was parked outside of the hotel. And I guess like they started to get word that the players that were going to come off the bus soon or something like that. And so all you could see was this like huge herd of people. Like, there were people getting stampeded. There were people tripping and falling. There were people like sprinting, pulling up their pants, like doing whatever was just to be able to get a glimpse of their favorite players. And as I was watching all of this go down, Spirit gave me the concept of like how certain soul groups like incarnate, and the way that other souls will incarnate with certain soul groups when they know that they're going to be on earth at the same time, so that they can experience the greatness of whatever it is that they've come in to do, because they're key players, in the game of life. And so that's what I'm getting, is that like whoever this message is for, like you are one of those players on the bus. And not only are you one of those players, you're the star of the show, you're the key player, you're the one that people come out for. Every player on the team matters in their own way. I think gymnastics is a little bit different because it is an individual team sport. Like you have the USA team, but you're still competing individually across different activities. And I feel like that's really reflective of life in a lot of ways, where it's like, yeah, you have your family, you have your friends, you have your partners, you have your friends, you have your allies, and you're all on the same team Godhead, right? Team love, team Christ, team whatever it is that like really resonates with your heart. But ultimately it is you that's responsible for tackling your lessons and moving through, activating the individual blueprint of your soul and realizing that potential for yourself. No one can do that for you. No one can feel it for you. No one can realize it for you. It is you against you always. And so that's why like what we mean when we say like, you're your own worst enemy, and it's always like you versus you, because really when you get to a certain level of consciousness and maturity, you recognize that it is always going to be you that's going to be your greatest ally, and also the ability to be your own worst enemy. And so I think if this is resonating with you, I just want you to be able to pull back and recognize the difficulty level, the skill level at which you are, embodying yourself and expressing yourself, and whatever it is that you've come in to do and complete and master and, show the world, or even just show yourself and show your family, show those around you that experience you. Either way, in the eyes of the Most High, you are the Simone Biles of your soul group, of your lineage. And so recognize that even when you fall, because of the strength, I'm hearing strength of your character, because the strength of your character, because of the the level at which you are competing on a soul level, like for the sake of this message and this analogy, because, obviously we are all headed to the same place, which is back to love, back to our life, back to the truth, the one creative source. But we do come into this realm to express certain things, seed certain things, master certain things for ourselves, for our soul, or whatever. And I think that this is just a really strong message that don't be afraid to get back up again and go for it again, because the vault that I was also seeing her do, this was at like the world championships, and now like, she's at the Olympics, and she just landed it. I don't think she didn't stick it the way that she wanted to. And you could kind of see the inner frustration that she had with herself, but she was a really good sport about it. But she still didn't fall. And so like that's a deduction in her own way of like not completely sticking it. But because I keep stressing that the level of difficulty, it's the world hardest vault to date that is being competed at this time. And it's kind of just immediately getting her into the top 3. So I think there's a need not to worry, not to be, obviously continue to bring that same level of like discipline and like go-getter attitude that's got you to this point, but not being so critical of yourself, so hard on yourself to the point where you can't see how it is that you're already leaps and bounds above the rest. So yeah, lots of interesting messages. So you're a part of a very impressive group as is, that a lot of people have come in, a lot of souls have come in just to experience what it is that you do and how it is that you do it. But even amongst that group, there's a need to understand that like you might be amongst a very shining constellation, but it's like this essence of like you're the North Star amidst the Big Dipper. You see what I'm saying? So keeping that in mind, and I hope that this message helps someone. I hope that it's interesting and inspiring just to keep going and to remember what all of this is about in the first place, which is about showing yourself about what it is that you can do. It's about pushing past your own perceived limits and going for gold, and also reaching the hearts and spirits of those that get to experience your greatness. You know, I think about what it is that we love about sports, and a lot of that is just seeing the miraculousness of not only the human spirit, but what the human body is capable of. Like there's so much hope and excitement and joy that is spread through getting to experience these best of the best, top of the top athletes. And that's kind of what it is that you bring in your soul and in your spirit. So I just want to remind you that you have so many people in the physical and non-physical that are cheering you on, cheering for you, wanting to see you see what it is that you'll do next and see what it is that you'll accomplish next, and are true fans of yours, like people that support you, that want to see you happy and healthy. Like think about when Simone decided to forego, I think, the Olympics the last time around, or she pulled herself out of the games in the midst of it to prioritize her mental health. You had people that like really understood and really respected the precedent that she set, that even though that you can get to this level of success within your career, it's still important to put yourself and the health of your body, your mind, your spirit first, and not, really ignore your limits, ignore your boundaries for the sake of other people's expectations of you and wanting to put it on a show at all costs. I think that's when we really find out who it is that cares the most about just seeing a good show versus like the health and well-being of the athletes that give us something to aspire to, something to watch, that puts so many smiles on our faces. So if there has been a period of time where you needed to like be on the bench or take a step back, and there's this feeling of like, well, I'm the Simone Biles of my soul group, of my lineage, I can't take a day off. And it's like, no, you have people who care more about you and the health of your body and your mind and your soul, more so than seeing you with a gold medal around your neck. Because if anything that she proves as an athlete is that gold medal is going to come, that ring is going to come, that achievement is going to come, that because that's just who you are. That's just what it is that you create. That's just the nature of your discipline and your effort and the stellar nature of what it is that you bring to the table. So if you have to postpone, or you have to detour, or you have to, pace yourself out in a way that maybe doesn't align with other people's expectations, then you do that, because that's what makes you the Simone Biles of your soul group, of your lineage, of whatever this like relates to for you. So yes, I am so excited to just see what it is that you guys get up to. And I hope that this finds whoever it is that it's meant for. This is such an interesting message, and I loved this concept both when Spirit first brought it to me when I was in Miami, and now when I was just sitting here and I was watching that clip. So keep going, go for gold, and if you fall, get back up again, because chances are you're still going home with the medal.